KPOO San Francisco. Here's Sky with the Sky Report, Voices of the Homeless. You're listening to Saturdays in Real Time, KPOO.
What's up, I'm your host, Sky, with the Sky Report, Voices of the Homeless. Right now I'm speaking with
David Lundholm.
Okay, were you ever homeless?
I was. I just got into an SLE. I was actually homeless after I got out of another SLE and came to the Recovery Cafe.
Okay, and how long were you homeless when that happened?
I was probably homeless about 2 months. In other words, what I considered homeless might not be what other people consider homeless. I had no place I can actually call my own home, so I was living in a shelter with a roof over my head, and actually having to buy my own meals. So I consider that homeless. It's not living under a bridge, but it does something to your psyche, because I did have a home.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And through drugs and alcohol and going through treatment, I had to actually leave everything that I had to go into treatment to save my life, because I tried to drink myself to death.
Well, okay, now what are the shelters like? Because I had stayed in a shelter, and just give me your perspective.
Okay, they really, there's a lot of different ranges of shelters. There are some that are, there's a chain of shelters that are run by one person that have managers at each. They don't have a clean and sober rule, which I look for. And some of them are atrocious. Some of them have bed bugs, roaches, and they don't do anything about it. A lot of the people that stay there, or they're homeless, have mental problems. They're mentally ill, and so they're afraid, they won't speak up. And so the people that run them say, you know, you can be seen but not heard, because you'll be out on the street. We will kick you out. And that's what's happening to a lot of these people that have the mental problem, brain injuries or whatever, and they just keep their mouth shut. I heard one story where a lady actually had a mouse run over her, and she doesn't do anything about it. She can't say anything because they threaten to kick her out on the street.
Now, which shelters did you say? Can you state specifically which shelters? Okay.
Yeah, no, I'd rather not.
Okay.
Unless I talk to the woman, whatever. I just kind of want to leave this.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so, why do you think people perceive homeless people in such a negative way?
Well, because the first thing, and I have to admit that I perceive them this way too, is that the homeless, you picture somebody sleeping under a bridge or on a bus bench with a brown bag and a bottle of booze in it, with no shoes on, or even barefoot, stinking, reeking, dirty. And that's not the case. That's not the case. There are 7,600 homeless in San Jose. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So, I mean, out of that, I don't really know all the totals, but I work for Downtown Streets team, and we go down into the jungle. I interact with the homeless all the time, and I work with homeless that actually clean up the camps and then have to go back to those camps. And it's just, it's so different, the levels of homelessness. People look at me, and I've even spoke, I say, you know, I'm homeless. And they go, what? It's, you know, the perception of the homeless is just like I said. Most of them are afraid of them. They, you know, the worst thing you could do, they say, is offer money to the homeless. What you want to do is just give them a smile and say hi. These homeless people that I come across basically are very grateful for what we do. All they ask for is bags. They try to be as neat as possible. And, you know, they're doing the best they can.
Right.
Some of them actually want to be homeless. And there's some people that would rather do their own thing and live, you know, in a tent or whatever, and not have to answer to anyone or have to pay mortgage and stuff. So some of it's voluntary.
Well, you mentioned something. You said the worst thing that you can do is offer money to the homeless. Why do you say that?
Well, because, you know what? First of all, the homeless, you know, the best thing you can do is just, it's also dangerous to approach a homeless. Now, if someone's asking for money, you know, chances are it's probably going to go to something, you know, I don't really want to get into that, but this is, you really shouldn't offer money to the homeless. You shouldn't. They're you know, I'll tell you why too, because the San Jose, a lot of them don't really, there are plenty of programs in San Jose where they can go to. I don't mean to sound cold. If you want to give money to the homeless, that's fine. But a lot of these people that are out there if they have mental illness and stuff, they don't know where they're at. And there are some out there that really don't know. But the ones that do, sometimes they just don't want to get on the ball and go get what they can. San Jose is trying to do a fairly good job, but I think it's overwhelming.
Now, can you say what type of services you receive? What do you think of the services that are available?
Well, there's so many services. There's so many different companies, like the Streets team. They offer, you can get schooling, you can get, they look for housing for you. There's bedding, there's clothing, there's access to food. You can actually arrive in San Jose like I did with one bag. I had a bag when I got out of treatment, like a duffel bag, a couple pairs of underwear. I have 4 totes now. And this is because I've worked the program. I've done what people have asked me to do, stuff I didn't want to do because I wanted to stay alive. And I want to live now. And what's happened to me is amazing. I'm staying in a good SLE. I was almost dead in a hotel room from alcoholism 8 months ago, a little over 8 months ago. And now, I'm registering for school. I'm getting a part-time job. I'm a member of the Rep Cap. It goes on and on. I mean, I joined YMCA. I'm not every homeless person's going to have a story like me. But you know what? I did what it took.
And what was that?
Well, it was just listening to what there is to offer.
Okay.
And getting involved, like companies like Streets Team, Downtown Streets Team, or the Recovery Cafe, because they have everything you need right there. Mm-hmm. And they'll supply the people. It's just a matter of whether you want to do it or not. Yeah.
That's excellent. Now, I guess my next question is why do you think that there's a lot of money that's been allocated to these programs, but we still have the problem? Let's imagine if you were to have $100,000, how would you spend it? If you were to try to take a dent in this program?
Well, how would I spend it? You know what? $100,000 is probably like a couple of cents to what this program needs. I understand. Yeah. I don't want to get any companies or corporations involved in this. I want to. I mean, I gave my name and stuff, but I just know that there's a big homeless problem. I don't know what has been donated. I don't know where it goes. I'm sure that there's been a lot of people that have gone on the radio and talked about this homeless situation. Mm-hmm. And I am actually fairly new to it, 7 months or whatever. Now, there's homeless people everywhere, but I've seen it. I work in it every day. So you caught the right guy.
Yes. Yeah. And the right success story. So I'm excited to hear that.
Yeah. I tell you, actually, I'm happier now down here in San Jose, living in an SLE with 14 guys in one house, 4 refrigerators, every walk of life, addictions, alcoholism, homelessness, these people are all trying to survive, than I was when I had my own apartment back in Dublin, California, and a full-time job. It's not just, a lot of it is humility.
Yes.
And it's having not everything, but a lot of things and taking it for granted, and then coming down to San Jose out of treatment and having hardly anything and working your way back up. It's not only gratifying, but it like I said, when you see the homeless and you're homeless, it really humbles you. It really does. And I'm blessed, and it's just something that it had to happen for me. I wish all the other homeless people out there a happy story like mine. It's not going to be that way, though.
I know it's not going to be that way. If you could change the way people saw this, if you could get them to learn one thing, what would that one thing be?
Well, never stop trying. And if you need help, then get it wherever you can. You know what? All you got to do is just you go to these shelters, and there's always brochures. There's people that say call this number, or we can help you. You gotta make an effort. And it's easy for me to say, like I said, there's some homeless people out there that are mentally challenged, and they're being taken advantage of. And I don't know what can be done about the people that own these places, or the managers themselves that run these places. But I've even heard managers stealing money from these people, and there's nothing they can do because they'll get booted out. It's fear, and that's wrong.
That's very wrong. I'm your host, Sky, with the Theskyereport Voices of the Homeless right now. Thank you so much. Keep it locked. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much for that report, Sky. Coming in from South Bay, that very vital information about our people who are facing challenges, and we want to continue to support that.